today's topic, we will be discussing how to build a career in growth marketing, or what all things are required, and what is growth marketing. We'll also try and understand this. I just want to call it out that all of my experience throughout this 8 years has been with direct to consumer brand. I have not essentially worked with a lot of ed tech or SaaS products, which are software as a service. So mostly e-commerce websites like Titan also was an e-commerce website where people used to order a product, we used to ship it. So most of the insights that I'll be sharing will be from that point of view. Moving ahead, I am sure you all would have heard these three terms. Digital marketing is very, very common and old now. Growth marketing, performance marketing. Do you guys know what is the difference between all these three, or do you feel that all of them are same? Please write whatever you have in mind in the chat section, so that I also get an understanding what is your point of view, and we can take it forward from there. While you're writing in the chat box, please write it to everyone so that everyone can see the answers that you're writing. It can be anything. If you understand what digital marketing is, just tell us that. Or do you think all of these three are same, or are they different? Let us know your views. Okay, similar but not the same. Okay, online marketing, they are different. Digital marketing is why for spread reach product through social media. Okay. So I'll tell you this thing, that all digital marketing is actually any marketing that you do on digital platforms. Easy and simple. So earlier we used to call it just marketing. But now, since digital was a new thing that came, and whatever we do on digital was a bit different than what we used to do in traditional marketing. So we started calling it digital marketing. Growth marketing is actually very business goal oriented, data driven, and we'll see what it is in detail in the next slide. Whereas performance marketing is actually a part of growth marketing. It is not basically digital marketing encompasses everything, then is growth marketing, but growth marketing also falls under business development and business growth, and performance marketing is purely a part of growth marketing. So let's move ahead. So let's understand what is growth marketing. Now, growth marketing is actually a strategy-based, data-driven approach to marketing. It is an agile and iterative process. Now, let me explain you what all of these words mean. So first of all, for growth marketing, we have to have a very clear business goal. Let's say in D2C's case, when we are selling something online, it is simple: how much revenue we want, or how many new customers we want, or how many orders do we want. So that is usually the hardcore goal of any growth marketer, a pure play growth marketing person. Whereas if you go to edtech and all, it can be lead gen, and maybe for a SaaS product, it can be app installs and everything. So basically, it is very heavily goal oriented, and it has to be a business goal. Then we have to have a very clear strategy, and then keep analyzing the data to understand, what is working, what is not working, and then make changes to that strategy. Okay, and also because we are constantly doing this, that we are improving the strategy after looking at the data, again looking at the data, then improving the strategy. It is very agile and iterative. Fast, we have to be very fast, because digital world is changing every minute, every day. Okay, so we have to have that. And here, because we usually communicate through a digital medium on a cell phone to a customer, it's not like we are putting a hoarding in the street. It is very personal also. So it has to be very customer centric. in traditional marketing, we had no option but to put, let's say, one hoarding in Electronic City, Bangalore. But whereas today, if I can see that, we have so many people living in Electronic City, half of them maybe have an interest towards sports, half of them have an interest towards watching Netflix, then I have to ensure that my communication is designed such that, and these both audiences are segregated and communicated that way. So growth marketing is also very customer centric. So then coming to this right side cycle, which I explained, that you have to create a strategy, run a few experiments, check the results, analyze the data, and then again make changes to the strategy. So it is a complete circle, and you have to keep doing this every day, every week, or this is basically the life of a growth marketer. So if you're planning to be a growth marketer, this is what your job is going to be like. So people who are data driven, who are very logical, who like to build strategies and all, growth marketing is a superb career option for all of you. Okay, moving ahead. Let's see what are the stages of growth marketing so that you understand better. I also told you performance marketing is also part of growth marketing. So let's see what are the stages and how it is structured. So this is how a growth marketing funnel looks like, or a marketing funnel basically looks like. Okay. I spoke about traditional marketing approach when we had just TV, hoarding, and all of these things. Uh, Traditional marketing approach always used to focus on just the two layers of the funnel, which is awareness and consideration. Now, what is awareness? Awareness is actually when we want to make people aware of our brand, that a brand named Sugar exists, or lipsticks are there, or maybe when iPhones were launched, there is something called as iPhone. So you are making customers aware of a product or a brand. Just that is the objective, that how many people see our ad, how many people maybe saw our ad completely, how many saw it partially, all of that, how many people saw the hoarding. So this is all awareness is, where I might have when the customers say, yeah, I've heard about this brand, that is where awareness ka objective is achieved. Then coming to consideration. Consideration is actually when a customer is considering this brand, that okay, whenever I buy my next phone, I'm going to buy an iPhone, or whenever I'm going to buy a next lipstick or makeup, I'm going to buy a Sugar. So consideration is where, when we have ensured that let's say maybe for some brands it can be customers who are following the social media page, for some brands, and all of this funnel, the definition actually you have to define for your brand and for your industry. So it is more or less overall fixed, but then it keeps varying here and there depending on what are your business objectives. Consideration can also be something, people have visited our website. So for D2C, typically that is what we used to consider as consideration, that okay, people have visited the websites, which means they have considered our brand. Then comes the research phase. Now, this research phase is very important today, because no communication in our generation today is one way, because of digital social media. Every communication, the customer has the right to communicate immediately or say anything immediately. Earlier, when TV was there, this was not possible. Okay, so research now, because of this digital, research is also important, because people go to Google and do a research, or maybe they'll go to market and do a research ki, okay, if I want to buy a phone, how much is it costing me in Chroma? And Google Pay, I'll see how much is it costing in Amazon, how much is it costing in Apple's website. Now this is just price. I also do research where I compare 2-3 phones and try and get an understanding that okay, if I have 40,000 rupees, then which phone is the best? That's where influencers, bloggers come into picture, where when people are researching, they give that information, they give that knowledge, so that people can actually move to the next stage in the funnel, which is after research, which is conversion, which is ultimately buying the product. So anything which falls in conversion funnel, is usually performance marketing. For a lot of brands, even consideration wala funnel part will also fall under performance marketing, where I said that lead gen is basically a type of conversion, I would say. So for EdTech, usually you would run lead gen campaigns. Then the business development manager will call the customer, and then maybe out of 100 calls, one customer will convert. So performance marketing ka objective there is actually lead gen, which is actually a consideration, this thing, because the customer has not purchased it. So performance marketing actually lies somewhere between consideration and conversion. Okay, even a lot of companies earlier used to have SEO guy also in the performance marketing team. At Titan, SEO person was actually in my team. I used to head performance. So basically, uh, from consideration to conversion, you can say that performance marketing ka region starts. Then coming to retention marketing. Now, what is retention marketing? Retention marketing is basically, ensuring that the customer stays with the brand. Now, by when I say stays with the brand, doesn't mean he keeps purchasing from the brand every month, because when you're buying a phone or a watch, you won't buy it every month. You'll buy it once in a while. But then retention's job is to ensure that they interact with the brand. Maybe we can interact by ensuring that they follow us on social media. So whoever has purchased our product, retention person will ensure that they follow us on social media. Emails are being sent to that person, WhatsApp messages, wishes for festivals, anything. It can be very generic and it can be very specific also today, although because of all the retention marketing tools and all, uh, very personalized retention marketing messages are possible. So that is what retention marketing is. Then comes the repeat purchase, which is when, and retention also ensures that the customer is engaged with the brand. So whenever next time there is a need to buy certain X product or Y product, which then in the person's mind, the name of this brand should come, which they purchased earlier. So that is where once we are successfully able to retain a person, then we can try and get a repeat purchase. Now let's say, I'll give you a very basic example. Every year during Diwali, people buy new clothes. Okay, let's assume that. Then, so what is the job of retention person is ki, okay, then every Diwali, I have to ensure that I till next year's Diwali, I communicate with this person, and during Diwali, I send a email, WhatsApp, or a nudge saying ki, it's that time of the year again where you should buy something, or these are the latest collection, etc. That is what will lead in that repeat purchase. And then the last stage is loyalty. So loyalty basically comes when uh, we have achieved that level with the customer where customer is, they themselves are buying the products from this brand, but then they are also referring. Or whenever a new product is launched, or let's say a new range of clothing or a new flavor of candies, anything like that is launched, they are the first ones to try. So our aim is actually to move as many people as possible from awareness to loyalty. So basically, excuse me, this is the new age approach of marketing. So moving ahead, now that we understand ki what growth marketing funnel looks like, we have seen ki from awareness to loyalty, there we are making, ensuring that the customer moves down the funnel. There are obviously different types of skills required at different levels of stages of growth marketing. But top 5 important skills, and please understand this, growth marketing, although there are certain skills which are required, but again, it's a mindset. You have to ensure that you adapt that mindset of growth marketing along with the skills. Okay, so the first skill that is required for growth marketing is business understanding. Because let's take an example of a small D2C brand. Okay, let's say you're working as a growth marketer with a small e-commerce brand, which is selling some food products. Now the objective of your objective would actually be कि every month we have to deliver 15% growth in the business. How will you do that? By, obviously running digital ads, running Google ads, Facebook ads, everything, all of those activities which go in various parts of the funnel. But you have to understand कि, okay, if I am running ads and spending 10,000 rupees, then I have to ensure that I get a business of 1 lakh rupees or 2 lakh rupees, whatever is the business objective. Okay. So basically, if you have to ensure that you have to give a growth of 15% month on month in the revenue, okay, this month, how much revenue has to happen, and okay, how much budget do I have. So you have to ensure that that much return on investment has to come. That is very, very critical. And now this might be a bit detailed, but whoever understands, try and understand. If you don't, it's okay, because it's too soon for you. Let's say you are running 2 campaigns, one on Facebook and one on Google. And you see that, okay, from Facebook also I'm getting 10 orders, and from Google campaign also I'm getting 10 orders. Both the places I'm spending 1,000 rupees. So it's everything is same. Okay. But as you dig deep and see what is happening in the business, you might realize that out of the 10 orders that are coming from Facebook, 5 are coming return or getting RTO. Whereas Google, only 2 are coming back as return orders. So then immediately what you will do? Because here, ultimately, we are net, we are doing only 5 orders. Here we are doing 8 orders. So you might want to shift some money from Facebook to Google. So these are the things, that you have to do every day to ensure that business is profitable. Today, before giving funding to any D2C startup, investors ask about profitability. Profitability is very, very important. Watch some episodes of Shark Tank, maybe. You'll see the kind of questions they are asking. Leave the drama aside, but then just focus on the questions that the investors are asking. That is happening across. Okay, so business understanding is very, very important for a growth marketer, because you have business goals. Then coming to the second skill, which is the person has to be good with strategy. See, there is actually a difference between a digital marketing person, a pure play, old wala digital marketing, which, when digital marketing was just new, and a growth marketer, which is a digital marketing person, will prepare a media plan. That, okay, client has given me, let's say they used to work with agencies earlier. Okay, client has given me 10 lakh rupees. Out of that, I'll prepare a media plan, which will be, let's say, okay, out of 10 lakh, 5 lakh rupees I'll spend on Facebook, 2 lakh rupees on YouTube, and this will generate so many impressions, views, everything, all of that. Okay. Whereas a growth marketer has to prepare a strategy, a clear roadmap to achieve that revenue goal. So it is extremely, extremely important that you understand how to create a marketing strategy. I gave you one more example, that let's say in Electronic City, earlier I could put just one hoarding. Okay, and a digital marketing person will actually, segregate the audience ekdam upar se and run ads, because they just want to run awareness ads. Whereas a growth marketer has to ensure that if I'm showing ads to people who like sports, then my communication has to be according to that. And if I'm showing ad to person who likes Netflix, then my communication has to be like that. So that whole this is all part of strategy. Okay, what is the target audience? What communication should go to this particular target audience? And don't miss out on the experiments part. So let's say if for the sports part audience, I have to run experiments. So maybe I'll bifurcate. I'll create one communication with cricket, one communication with football, and then see which one is working well for me. If both are working, then maybe I'll experiment with a third thing. So all of this strategy part is very, very important for growth marketing. Then the third skill, the person has to be execution oriented. There is no replacement of this skill. Like, you have to have the skill. If you don't have, you will not be able to grow in growth marketing, or in even in digital marketing. It will be very difficult for you to grow. because digital and growth, these fields are changing every second, every minute, or let's say every day. So if you don't execute today what you have thought, today is a lost opportunity. Okay? Like again, giving you a very stark example, if there is a hoarding, I have purchased it for a month, I really cannot do anything. I have purchased it now. But on digital, I can change every hour also. It's not a problem. So then I don't have that much time ki I'll keep thinking, okay, I have to change the creative, I have to change the creative, yes, I will change the creative. You have to execute it, you have to get things done. There is no alternative for that. If you lose one day's revenue is gone. Then the fourth skill is proactiveness. You have to be proactive. You cannot wait until you get some customer feedback or something, or your manager says something, then you make changes. You have to be proactive. You have to go and check if things are working fine or not. If you feel that you have a doubt, let's say, like I gave you the example of Facebook and Google, where 5 customers returned the product from Facebook campaign versus Google may only 2 customers return the product. So in that case, maybe I want to proactively, I'll go and speak to those 5 customers and speak to those 2 customers. What is the issue? I will not wait until my manager comes and says ki isme 5 customers have returned the product. What is the issue? So you have to be proactive and understand the issue there, solve for it immediately. Okay, budget change is just one thing. You have to get into depth and resolve for it. So being proactive is very important. Looking at reports daily, looking at campaigns daily, all of that is very, very important. Then comes customer understanding. Because like I said, we are communicating directly with the customer in their personal space, on their hands, in the iPad screens or TV screens, where they're watching Netflix, Prime, etc. So you have to ensure that you understand the customer properly and ensure that you target properly, and we deliver what customer is expecting, or we make that connection with the customer immediately. So customer understanding is very important.